Hey y'all, it's time for another Empties video. I'm excited to go through my empties today. I feel like in some ways we're chugging right along, like a lot of the things that you might expect at this point to find in my empties are in my empties. And in some ways they're like new vistas of philosophy about skincare opening up before us. I just feel like things are happening and I'm excited to get you caught up. Also, we're feeling very sleek today. I just filmed a Patreon check-in and I got ready while I was talking, while I was doing the check-in. And so even though I kind of knew what I was doing, I didn't really get the whole picture until I had finished filming. And then I went to change my top for this video and I looked in the mirror and I was like, I hope I still feel good about it when I see the footage back. I hope I'm not making a fool of myself. Maybe I am making a fool of myself because I forgot to put my mole back on. There. If this happens to be your first time clicking on one of my videos, then welcome to my channel. I'm Hannah. I really love beautiful things. I love makeup. I love skincare. I enjoy hair care. This is a beauty channel. But a couple of years ago, I did a no-buy year. I stopped shopping for a year because I had been overspending on beauty. And during that year, I was really surprised at how much trash I generated, how many empties I generated. And that was because I had been buying and buying and buying stuff without using up the stuff that I already had. So even though I now have this YouTube channel and I often end up reviewing stuff that brands send to me, it's still really important to me to make it all the way through my products. And so empties are really central to my channel and always have been. And they're great because empties are the products of which I can give you the most thorough reviews. If you enjoy this while you're watching and you're not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe. And now let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Before we get started, I want to let you know that a little portion of this video in the middle is going to be sponsored by the brand Elemis. I'll let you know when we get there. As always, though, everything that I say in the video is going to come entirely from me. It's really important, especially in empties videos, to give you the thorough reviews that, again, I can only give you having used up a product entirely. When Elemis reached out, they basically just asked if they could sponsor me to be really specific about the tactile experience of using their products in a video sometime in the middle of November. And I was more than happy to do that because first of all, I love being really specific about the tactile experience of using products, but also I had this video on my calendar already and I had just used up an Elemis product. So it all worked out. Again, there will be more on this when we get there, but I wanted to let you know now so that you didn't feel like I was springing a sponsorship on you. We're not going to start with it though. I'm just going to reach in and pull out whatever's on top. Okay, the new wash hair story. I feel like this was in my empties the last time I did an empties. And it's not as though I do empties regularly, but this is just to show, I mean, I do them regularly, but I don't do them like on a schedule. Like it's not as though I do empties every month. And so that means I'm going through one a month. Far from it. I actually think that I'm doing empties these days, like every maybe 2 months. I mean, it's not regular, but it's not a thing that's happened before to have my shampoo in my empties every single time, like to be going through shampoo this quickly. I think a lot of people do, although maybe not. Maybe you can tell me, like, how frequently do you buy shampoo? What's normal? What do you think is normal for people? Like how frequently they buy shampoo? I used to buy shampoo like twice a year because I do only wash my hair about once every 7 to 10 days. And using traditional shampoo, like a big bottle of traditional shampoo, even using quite a bit of it, only using it once every 7 to 10 days, like twice, maybe 3 times a month. It was just lasting and lasting and lasting me. And it had been like that for years. With New Wash, I still only wash my hair once every 7 to 10 days, but because of the consistency of the formula, it's like a conditioner. It basically feels exactly like a conditioner and it applies into the hair like a conditioner. And then I rub it into my scalp with the scalp brush. I have a whole video about my new haircut and my hair care routine. All of that's still relevant. I'm still doing exactly the same thing and I'll link that video down below. I get a lot of questions about my hair and a lot of comments where people are like, please do a hair care routine video. And it hasn't been that long since I've done one. Which reminds me to say that if you're ever wishing that someone would do something on YouTube and you don't know whether they have or not, you can go to the homepage of the creator, you can go to the channel and click on videos. And then with all the videos pulled up, you can search in the search bar. You can search just that channel. So if you go to my channel and you search hair care or hair, all the hair care videos I've ever done will come up, and there are a handful of them. There is a handful of them. There are a number of them. Because this product feels like a conditioner, and because it doesn't foam up, and you know, when something foams, it like multiplies itself. It makes its own volume greater. It covers more surface area. So when something foams, you can pour out just a little, and then you start working into your hair and it gets much, much more, and it fills your entire hair. And that's what more traditional shampoos do, and that's why it was taking me less long to go through a bottle just washing my hair every 7 to 10 days. With this, it doesn't foam, so in order to get my entire hair, all my hairs coated and my scalp cleansed with it, I have to use more than I would use of a traditional shampoo. I end up using actually kind of like a handful. You know, it's like quite a lot because I have very thick hair and it's getting longer by the day. And, you know, I'm just doing it every 7 to 10 days. So I want to do a really thorough job. It's like a whole thing. It's like washing a wool sweater or something. I take my time, I'm very thorough, and then my hair is fantastic and I don't have to worry about it for another 10 days. And I love it and I'm not mad. I love this product. It's so much gentler on my hair and more moisturizing to my hair than the traditional shampoos that I used to use. I am so happy to pay the money to replace this pouch probably every 2 months is what it is at this point. But I think that they make value sizes. Now that this is like the 3rd time this has been in my empties, like the 3rd time in a row. And now that I've seen how quickly I'm going through it, I think it might be time for me to get like the big mama pouch. I think you can get like a huge pouch of it and then like a little refillable bottle for your shower. I've already repurchased this in this size and I currently have it in my shower. So I'm definitely going to go through that one first. But the next time that I buy new wash, I might go ahead and just buy the big one. What else is in here? Oh, well, okay. So this is an empty package of makeup wipes, which is something that I don't buy and I don't really depend on, and I don't suggest depending on them. Definitely not for cleansing your face. It's not a way to cleanse your face, makeup wipes. But sometimes the Athena Club sends them to me, and when they're here, they end up being very useful for me for filming. Like I end up using them to remove swatches when I'm filming those long overhead videos where I'm like swatching all this makeup and, you know, playing with makeup and getting my fingers in makeup. It is really useful to have a makeup wipe. When I don't have makeup wipes though, I don't go out and buy them. I usually use just like some sort of spray or micellar water, and I try to use washcloths, so sometimes I end up using paper towels if it gets really, really messy. This is here and it's empty because they sent this packet of makeup wipes to me, and I did end up using them filming the overhead videos recently, and sometimes during makeup playtime for just like getting a blank canvas right away to put on more makeup when I'm playing with it, testing stuff out. They just, you know, of course they come in handy when they're here. But as far as I understand it, makeup wipes aren't a very sustainable choice, and there are so many other options. So I'm putting them here to just be totally frank with you that I have used these, and as makeup wipes go, they're pretty good, but it's not something that I necessarily endorse depending on for a number of reasons. The Athena Club at large though is just so fantastic. I don't have them here before me, but the deodorant, it's so good. And they recently came out with a new scent, like a grapefruit scent of their deodorant. I love the old scent number 2. They sent me both the grapefruit one and the one that I really, really love, which is like my signature deodorant scent. And so I have like 2 deodorants open right now, and I've just been like using them, trading off between them, which is kind of something I've never done. I've always just had one deodorant at a time, and it just feels so luxurious. They smell so good, but they also work really well in their natural deodorants. It's the number 1 product from Athena Club as far as I'm concerned. But I also use the razor. I also use the razors, and so does Julia. And the shave foam is really nice as well. It's a good razor replacement company. I actually put this in here to remind myself to mention to you that I'm still using products from the Athena Club, because when I first discovered them, it was really exciting, and I bought the products all with my own money, and I really loved them, and I like raved about them on YouTube. And then I don't think I've revisited them very many times since then, but behind the scenes, I'm revisiting them all the time. And then they have since sent me some products. But if they weren't sending me, especially the deodorant, I would 100% be buying it myself. Aha! This. Does anyone remember when Fresh sent this to me? I feel like it was years ago. I feel like I was but a child. And probably I feel like that because it was like at the beginning of the pandemic or before the pandemic, which to me now feels like 8 years ago. This is the jumbo bottle of the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. They sent it to me because it wasn't new. They had just released the jumbo bottle, but this is like their classic, cult classic cleanser. And I just kind of felt like, how could I say no? Because it's a very expensive cleanser. I think that this big bottle is like $80 or something. It's like really expensive, fancy cleanser. So to have something like this in my shower to be able to use to cleanse my face anytime, it just seemed like such a luxury. But let me tell you, there's nothing like having a 400 milliliter bottle of a cleanser to make you realize that you don't actually like it that much. And I think that part of the problem is that that Fresh Soy Face Cleanser has like this snotty texture. It's like a gel with little particles in it. Squeezing it out through a pump, which usually I love. I love a pump as a dispensing mechanism for anything, especially in the shower, to be able to just reach over and pump. It's like fantastic. In fact, that's part of why I was so excited to receive this. But pumping that sort of goopy, snotty texture through a pump, it's just not the thing. And having it in this big bottle and having it in a pump, I had tried like little samples in a tube of that same Fresh Soy Face Cleanser before, and it was nice. It was perfectly fine. There's something about having it in the pump that made me feel like it wasn't so great. And then I've been using it forever, y'all. I've been using it forever because it's decent and it's fresh, so it's telling me by its branding that it's a luxurious product, but it didn't feel luxurious to use. I mean, it served its purpose perfectly well. Like my skin would be clean after using it. I was using it as a second cleanser. And, I used it and used it and used it, and it was fine. It was just like this staple in my routine. I was second cleansing with this for a really long time, especially recently, because I was like, gunning to get it used up. It's very gentle, and that's fine. You know what I mean? It's gentle. It does its job, but it kind of became an unpleasant thing to be using, although not as unpleasant as another thing that I just remembered I should put into my upcoming fail. I have like a beauty fails video that I'm working on, and I just realized that there's another thing, a cleanser that has been in my shower for a while that I've realized I truly despise, and I should pull that out of the shower and put it in the box for the fails video. But I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. Stay tuned. Anyway, this is the least unpleasant of 2 unpleasant cleansers that I've had in my shower for a long time. And I'm really proud of myself for using it up, and I'm really glad that it's gone. This is a very interesting product. The Marc Anthony, sorry, I feel like I was so excited when I pulled this out and started talking about it. But I am excited to tell you the Marc Anthony Dream Big Volumizing Super Powder. This was given to me at BeautyCon, again, like 8 years ago before the pandemic when I went to BeautyCon. No, it was like the year before the pandemic. I went to BeautyCon. This was handed to me as like a free sample. And I love it because it comes out like a powder. Oh, there's still a little bit in there. Oh no, oh, well, maybe you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I'm getting like the dregs of it. Oh, I see what's happening. So this is it's a powder, and this is the mechanism. I guess this thing pulls powder up through it. I've never seen a pump like this. I guess it's like a powder pump. And there is a little bit of powder at the bottom that's like too low for the pump to reach. But when I pump it aggressively, it's like sucking a tiny bit up. So maybe what I'll do is the next time I need to volumize and powder my hair, I'll dump the powder out in my hands and work it through my hair. But it's essentially empty. So it's a powder. I love that it's a powder because, it doesn't add the weight of something wet the way that an aerosol spray sometimes does. And it is also kind of sticky in this way. So I think some powders, like for example, the other one that I really like to use, the Hair Story powder, it's very soft and powdery. So it doesn't add the weight of something sticky like an aerosol spray will sometimes do, but it also doesn't make my hair sort of stick together and pump up and piece up the way that something sticky and wet does. So sometimes I feel, I even have something else here. So sometimes I feel like when it's a volumizing spray like this or a powder like this, it's sort of either or. You're either getting the like very oil absorptive quality and that quality of like making your hair sort of soft by coating the hairs with powder, or you're getting like something that sticks to your hair and pumps it up. Look who came to see us, you guys. It's Sadie. She's so mad. She's still so mad about Smidge. Sadie, everybody loves you so much and everyone's been so worried about you. It's okay. Smidge is just a little tiny bean. She's not trying to hurt you. Poor Sadie. Life's so hard. She's mad. She's mad. All that Smidge wants in life is to play with Sadie and snuggle with Sadie. It's like all she wants. And she's trying so hard. And Sadie just, she's made some progress. She's not like hissing at her all the time, but she needs more time. Let's put it that way. What were we talking about? Oh, the hair powder. So there's something about this Marc Anthony Dream Big Volume Super Volumizing Super Powder. It's powdery, and so it feels like it doesn't weigh the hair down, but it's also sticky. And so it does an amazing job of volumizing. I really, really like it. And I had a number of them. I don't know why. I think maybe in whatever swag bag I got from BeautyCon, there were like 2 or 3 of them in there. So I had a backup. And I'm using it now. I actually have one open that I use from time to time. And then this one is in my empties. But I think that the last time I looked it up, I couldn't find it for sale anywhere. Maybe I found like backstock of it on Amazon or something like that. But I think that it used to be sold at Target, and now I'm not sure that it's sold at all anymore, but I will obviously look. I'll try to find a place where it's still for sale and I'll try to link it. It's just a great drugstore priced hair product. Really, really great. And I've been using it consistently since I got it. And it's taken a really long time for me to use it up. It just feels innovative to me. And I wonder why there aren't more products like this on the market, because this is the kind of thing that for me with my hair needs, it like checks all the boxes for volume and texture. Okay, this is the Elemis product. So let's go ahead and talk about it. The Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm, which Elemis is, again, paying a modest fee to ensure that I discuss thoroughly and descriptively in this video. So I'm a double cleanser, as many of you know. I always use either a balm or an oil to remove makeup and grime, and then I go in with, you know, something like this, like a simple, gentle cleanser as a second cleanse to remove all traces. And I've tried a lot of cleansing balms. I've tried really expensive ones and I've tried really cheap ones. And this is the best cleansing balm that I've ever used, which is largely why I agreed to accept Elemis's sponsorship, because this has impressed me so much that this is something that I would have said anyway in this video. Maybe don't tell Elemis that, but here we are. To me, what makes a good cleansing balm is that it has body, like it has some structure. And so it holds its own on your face and it really goes at your face. It really does its work. But then when you add water, it emulsifies, it becomes something much softer, it becomes milky, and it completely washes away. So not only does this do that, but the texture is just so good. It's like not like other balms. I feel like a lot of cleansing balms have this sort of set, hard shape, like a smooth surface that when you dig into it, it comes away in like chunks, sort of like melty chunks. But this isn't like that. In fact, this is the one that I used up, which was the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. And I have another one, which is the Pro Collagen Rose Cleansing Balm. So I can show you the texture. You can see that it's sort of, because it was on its side, it sort of shifted all down to the side. It's soft. It's soft, kind of like honey, but it has more structure than honey. It's like a very thick, raw honey or something. You know how some honey has this like creamy texture? That's what it's like. It's like this, but it's also very, very dense. Like it feels incredibly effective. And so because of the texture and because I just have to touch it to pick some up on my finger, it's much easier for me to just use a little at a time, which is my huge problem when it comes to cleansing balms. I tend to use way more than I need to at one time. I'll take like a half handful and then it's just like going everywhere. But with this, a little bit goes a very, very long way. And then not only does it do its job beautifully and wash away easily, it feels very luxurious. I feel like it stays thick on my face for a long time and emulsifies my mascara and everything. Not only does it do all of that, which is like my bare minimum of requirements, but it leaves my skin feeling so soft. And I've been using this I've been using this along with, when they sent me this second one, they sent me this, the Elemis Superfood Facial Wash. So when I switched to using this cleanser, in addition to first this cleansing balm and then this cleansing balm, after having used my cheap cleansing balms along with the fresh cleanser for so long, when I switched over to these Elemis products, my face suddenly got really soft. Like my skin got really soft. And I was like, what's going on? Because historically, cleansing to me has been, and this is where we're kind of getting into the like shift in my thinking about skincare, but I'm going to save that for after I finish talking about Elemis. But I will just say this, historically, cleansing has been, I've considered it this like very practical, physical part of my routine. It's like, just get the skin clean. And then I've always put my focus on treatment products because I'm like, that's where the heavy lifting happens. So the cleansers just have a physical task to perform. And then anything about like skin resurfacing or conditioning or moisturizing, like all of that's going to happen during the treatment steps of my skincare. And I still do believe that. I mean, I do think that my retinol, which I'll talk about in a minute, because I think that there's an empty of it. Yeah, there is an empty of it in here. I do still think that that's the most important step in my skincare routine. Like it's the main thing, especially keeping my skin clear of blemishes. But I'm starting to find myself more willing to care about the cleansing experience. And even, especially after using these products, willing to admit that the cleansing experience might actually have something to contribute to the overall health of the skin. Which reminds me that they also asked me to give you a discount code. So I don't know what % off it's for, but I think it's for Elemis's website and it'll be at the top of the description box down below. So now I'm going to go back to talking about my new thinking. It's just like the beginning of a new thing, right? I'm just starting to think about skincare in a little bit of a new way. And it's been a long time since my thinking about skincare really changed much. So I might actually make a whole video about it. I know that a lot of you you do what I've been doing for the past couple of years. You really stick to budget skincare so that you can splurge in other places, like so that you can splurge on makeup or clothes possibly. Or maybe you're just trying to budget really, really hard all around to like pay off student loans or something like that. But I also know that some of you, and I know this because I read your comments and I get your messages, I also know that for some of you, expensive skincare, luxury skincare is worth the money. And I think that I'm starting right now to understand that a little bit better. I think that for the past several years, I've been seeking out really, really budget skincare products because there were so many products in my routine that if I didn't have very inexpensive products in each position, then the whole routine was so expensive, like it was before my no-buy year. I had like a 12-step skincare routine and every single product was from Sephora. And so it was ending up costing me thousands of dollars a year. So the way that I fixed that at the end of my no-buy year was that I replaced all of those products with really inexpensive products that perform similar functions and have similar ingredients. And that has been my philosophy basically from then until recently. What happened recently, and actually maybe I can move on to talking about the Curology Serum, which I've mentioned in a bunch of other videos, and I've done whole videos about Curology and I'll link those down below too. Now that I'm using this, the rest of my skincare routine has simplified dramatically around it. So it's mostly just this with 2 cleansers, right? A cleansing balm and a second cleanser, and then a moisturizer that I put on after this at night and that I put on in the morning underneath my sunscreen. And sometimes when, brands send me like face oil, I'll use a little bit of this sometimes in the morning, but I no longer consider face oil to be, this is so different from how it used to be. This is why I should make a whole video about it. I no longer consider face oil to be something that I need to keep my skin hydrated. I'm really just using a moisturizer at night and a moisturizer in the morning. And it's usually just the same one. I'll just like have one that I'm going through. And again, sometimes brands will send me like eye cream or something like that. And sometimes I'll remember to put it on at night. But for me, what I consider to be like my routine that I would be buying for myself over and over again if I were not on YouTube, it's just this, which is, retinol and a couple of other active ingredients, 2 cleansers and a moisturizer. And that's so simple compared to what it used to be. With so few products in my routine, so few things that I have to repurchase, I could see more mid-range to high-end products making more sense for me. Like if I wasn't on YouTube and I didn't receive PR, I could see myself buying an Elemis cleansing balm. Maybe not every single time. I think it would depend on how quickly I was going through it. I could see myself buying that if it was just one of 4 products that I was having to repurchase every couple of months, as opposed to, again, the like 10 or 12 that I was having to repurchase all the time during my no-buy year and like for a year or 2 after that. So again, I feel like I should make a whole video, partly because this harkens back to my no-buy year, and it's sort of like a revision of one of the major revelations that I had of that year, and an evolution, of course, of my personal habits and of my skincare routine. But I wanted to bring it up now because I feel like when it has a lot of the empties in this video have bearing on it. Like partly, to be perfectly frank, partly the really lovely experience that I'm having with these Elemis products has brought me around, you know, but it's also this empty, the Curology, you know, it's like what Curology is doing for my skin that has made me so much less dependent on all of the steps of the skincare routine that I had before that I was using to manage my dry and acne-prone skin. I don't feel like I need to talk more about this. It's just my same custom formula. I haven't upped the amount of tretinoin in a little while. I'm just sticking with this for a little while because my skin has been kind of dry and I just want to get it into like a really good place before I up the dose again. But you know, if you want to know more about this, then watch my Curology videos because I give you the whole story in those. Let's bring the hair around for the rest of the video. Let's bring it around. I feel like this is the whole look with this thing that's going on. I feel like this is a whole look. Okay, so I'm actually glad that I've given you a quick overview of the very simple skincare routine that I'm currently using. Just like cleanser, Curology, moisturizer. And in the morning, it's just like, in the morning, I don't even use a cleanser. I just rinse my face. And then I put on moisturizer of some kind, and then I put on sunscreen. So this is the moisturizer that I was using for quite a while. It was PR. It's from this brand Replenix, which I actually used to use a really long time ago. Like an esthetician or something told me about it, and I was using it for a long time when I was like in my early 20s. It was good. It's like medical grade skincare, you know, but it has a very heavy scent that smells like perfume. And I just never really loved using it. I think it did moisturize my skin. I was putting on a thick layer using it as a night cream, but I was glad when it was gone simply because the scent made me a little bit suspicious. So it's the anti-aging age restore nighttime therapy from Replenix. And what I'll say about Replenix, actually, is this by them as well? Yes. Okay, so at the same time, they sent me this other product, the discoloration serum, the vitamin C Pro Collagen Serum, and I loved this product. I loved this. I was actually what I was doing when I had these two was I was using this as my night cream and this as my moisturizer in the morning. So when I woke up in the morning, I was rinsing my face, rinsing this off of my face, and then just putting this on my skin and then sunscreen. And I loved it because it was like an oil serum. The way that it soaked into my skin, it was just so lovely to apply. It has a vitamin C complex, arbutin, emblica. I don't even know what that is, but vitamin C, it says it has in it. I used to be really intense about using a vitamin C, like a fresh vitamin C serum. The one that I really love is from Timeless. Oh my gosh, I couldn't remember the name of the brand and I had to search my own channel to find it. The Timeless Vitamin C Serum. Timeless, it's a fantastic product and it's a fantastic brand. And if you want like a really strong, pure vitamin C serum to put on your face every morning, then that's the one that I recommend. And I have, because it's also really inexpensive and it's really fresh and good. I have been meaning to reincorporate it. I wanted to take a break from vitamin C because they say that you should take a break from any kind of acid when you're getting used to using retinol. And I've been planning to reincorporate it and I just didn't feel like it was time yet. It isn't as intense as that because even though it says it has like vitamin C complex, it's not the same as like a pure, strong L-ascorbic acid like the one from Timeless has. The vitamin C might have done something and it might not. For me, I just liked its moisturizing properties. I liked the way that the serum made my skin feel in the morning and I felt like it protected my skin. So I liked it. I liked the way it felt, but I wasn't like using it for the thing that it says that it's supposed to be for. And then when I looked it up, I saw that it was quite expensive, and I'm definitely not going to go like replacing it when I was just basically using it as a moisturizer. If I decide to reincorporate vitamin C, I'll probably repurchase the one from Timeless. But again, I just feel like this is doing everything I need for my skin. So I feel like with this, I just need to cleanse and moisturize, and that's it. That's what I'm doing right now. Oh, this is something that I've had for a really long time, and I finally just realized that it was pretty much done. And it is, the bottle's pretty much empty. It's the Caudalie Vino Pure Skin Perfecting Serum, and it is an AHA. I think it's it says AHA, but I thought that it had BHAs in it. I thought that whatever it is, it's like one of those acidic, exfoliating things. I actually ended up, it's so intense that I ended up just using it as a spot treatment, or like as a spot area treatment. If I felt I had a bunch of small clogged pores or blemishes coming up, I would put it on overnight, and it's got some alcohol in it, so it would like soak in and be kind of cooling and a little stingy, and it would usually take care of that blemished area pretty quickly. It's a strong and effective product, but I wouldn't put this all over my face, especially not now using retinol. But even before retinol, I always felt like it was just a little bit too intense, too like acidic and alcoholic to like use all at once. But as a spot treatment, it was fantastic. Because I was using it as a spot treatment, that's why it took me so long to go through it. But it's pretty much done now. And I realized that I wouldn't be using it on my face anymore. Even if I could like open it and get the dregs out, I don't want to put it on my face right now, because acids like that are kind of a no-go right now for me because of what else I'm using in my routine. Okay, we're almost done. I had this Glossier Moon Mask, which is one of my favorite products from Glossier ever, and I used it up. I had purchased this kind of a long time ago. I think that it was when I got the Glossier bronzers for review. I put this in my cart as well. I'm sure that I got it with store credit at Glossier from people clicking through my discount link, and I just love it. I would put a super thick layer of this on like when I was in the bath or after I got out of the bath. I try to take a bath once a week and do skincare during that time. I find it really moisturizing, deeply hydrating, and I also find that it does have the ability to be a little bit calming if my skin's starting to react a little bit to something. So I'll always want to repurchase this. Like I will always be happy to have it in my routine. I'm not so dependent on it that I will like seek it out actively, but I could see myself. In fact, I think it's very likely that I will put another one of these in my cart sometime in the future if I'm ever like reviewing anything from Glossier. This is a little sample of the Drunk Elephant Virgin Marula Luxury Face Oil that I used in the same capacity that I've been using this Elemis oil. Like I don't use it every day. I don't feel like oil is indispensable anymore to my routine, but I sometimes just press a little bit of it into my skin in the mornings before sunscreen, especially if I feel like my skin is getting really, really dry. And it's fine. It's nice. This is a nice product, but I would not go buying it for whatever it is, the $60, when you can get really nice marula oil from brands like The Ordinary for under $10. And this is the last thing. This is a little empty container of sugar exfoliant from House of Glory in the scent Persephone's Descent, which is such a good name for a scent. This was a gift from my friend Michelle. She knows that I love House of Glory, and she sent it to me along with a couple of other things. Thank you so much, Michelle. The box from her actually arrived. I was having a really tough day, I remember, and I was about to go get in the shower, and I opened the box, and it had these like House of Glory body, scrubby products and these amazing scents, and I was like, Michelle, thank you so much. Like the timing couldn't have been better. So this is the first one that I used up, and the scent profile says pomegranate, pale musk, narcissus blossom, and black amber. It's like exactly the kind of thing I like. It's musky and a little bit sweet, and House of Glory just makes amazing. It's like this amazing independent body care brand, kind of like, it's like the awesome indie version of Lush. Well, I guess Lush is technically independent still, it's not owned by a bigger company, but it's the awesome small brand version of Lush. And also great to know about for the holidays. These are great gifts to give. This is just a mini size, but like the full size of these comes much bigger. Who wouldn't love a House of Glory like whipped soap or body scrub or something as a gift. And the scents are all very alluring and unusual. And so you can also kind of like cater to someone's personality by picking them something from House of Glory. So this was just pure delight, and it's good to end on such a good note. We've done it. We've gone through my empties. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I quite enjoy empties videos because I do love talking a lot about products that I have a lot of thoughts on, and I always have a lot of thoughts on things that I've used up completely. It's also, you know, triumphant to like be using up products, making it through, especially things like this that have been, you know, slogging through. I mean, I cannot tell you how glad I was when I pumped the last pump of that. But I always end up feeling a little bit spent. It's also a little bit grueling. So I'm kind of ready to go like, whew, ready to go close my mouth for a little while. Thank you again so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself today so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.